Thank you very much, Joanna. So, ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome to our cruise ship recruitment forum. My name is Grant Holmes. I'm the global sector head for the cruise industry for Inchcape Shipping Services. And we're going to discuss the trials and tribulations of cruise ship recruitment in a COVID-19 world. Now, as a former crew member, many moons ago, maybe, I know in my gut that the life force of the cruise industry are indeed the crew. They represent that unquestionable feeling of community on board and service satisfaction for guests, apart from getting the job done. There are a little over 400 cruise ships on the planet, including the new builds and those that were recently scrapped due to the global COVID-19 pandemic. If all of these ships were active right now, we will be seeing over 250,000 crew members for the cruise ship industry at any one time on board. However, as virtually all cruise ships today are at lay-by or at anchorage, with just a few operational here and there, over 90% of the cruise ship crew remain at home and worried about their future, how to provide for their families, and wondering when or if they will re-embark. No group of people suffered more from the realities of the COVID-19 global outbreak in the cruise industry than the crew themselves. At most, crew remain at home, responsible. Cruise ship recruitment agencies are actually placed at the epicenter of crew sentiment and feedback. And it's really the orientation of our session today. So we've got a punchy session of just 35 minutes or so, and it's dedicated to the cruise ship recruitment brought to you through the lens of three highly experienced recruitment agents. So presenting my panelists today. First up on my right, top right-hand side, we have Carmen Sash. She's the Director of Operations for Job Selection Corporation. Welcome, Carmen.
Hi, Grant.
Secondly,
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Carmen. We have Sinisa Golak, the General Manager of Employment Power. Sinisa, give us a wave.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah, thank you. And last but by no means least, we have Zoran Koskoski. He's the General Manager and owner of Crisan Corporation. Now I'm going to ask some probing questions. And these probing questions are really going to look at the prevailing situation and we're going to understand what the sentiment of the crew is and what the new normal is going to be like for crew. So we will start with Carmen. Yes. Carmen, and I want to say Carmencita because my former mother-in-law was called Carmencita. Carmen, you're coming from Brasov. Now, with virtually all the cruise industry crew ashore at the moment, and they're just waiting to embark. You know, for you personally and your company, what activities are you currently actively involved in?
Well, since March 2020, when we stay home, we analyzed all our HR processes and decided to improve them, acting locally. So to be prepared when we will restart for the cruise industry. So we started to learn about digital marketing. We did trainings, we did personal development sessions, leadership processing, including online, and also after the pandemic, you know, when we had that break, we did that at the office. And also we identify some new instruments, assessments that we could use locally and also hopefully for the cruise industry, who knows. We are very excited for what we develop and what we found out. And we're hoping this will be a new start for our new business, let's say, after the pandemic. So actually we are all concerned and we are all happy to hear first time when the cruise industry will start the engines, let's say, for sailing.
Thank you very much, Carmen. So we're now going to move over to Croatia, and we're going to ask, he's there in Zagreb, Sinisa. Sinisa, you know, from your perspective, and you've got a wide range of experience. In fact, all of our panelists are some of the most experienced recruitment agencies in the whole of Europe. Sinisa, what are the greatest recruitment-related challenges you faced during the COVID-19 global crisis?
Well, thank you, Grant. Thank you for your question. And hello, everyone, once again. Well, there is a whole complot, so to say, of different challenges that we've been facing for the recruitment during the pandemic and after the pandemic, once it finished. The major challenge, most probably, is the lack of any type of possible planning, because, of course, you understand that pandemic brought in front of us a lot of challenges that we never have seen and that we were not experienced with. However, there are a couple of major questions, couple of major words that are confusing the existing or future existing crew members. One of them is the word fluid, that was used many times to explain that situation, basically as not certain. So the fluid means that we really don't know what to explain and what to say to the crew members in regards of their future life and work on board the ship. And connected to that is basically that we cannot explain them the needs. If you have a fantastic young person in front of you and you are not able to explain the needs for the future, then basically you are on a halfway to lose that person. Last but not least is safety on board, but that's something that I would evaluate in my next answer. However, the major challenge is that we do not have any type of consistent answer that are communicated in between our partners from the cruise industry to the crew members through us. That's the major issue.
So that's very interesting. I can see in many respects you've been placed in recruitment agents are placed in a compromising situation, and that's quite clear. So let's move over to Skopje there in Northern Macedonia and bring in Zoran Kochowski. Zoran, as you in your company, you operate in 17 countries. What is the current sentiment and feedback from the crew at home that you are hearing? And how does this vary across the nationalities?
First of all, thank you for inviting me for this panel discussion, and it's my honor to share the experience that we have in the past couple of months with this challenge with the COVID-19. I will say that all candidates and crew members, regardless of nationalities, are aware of the situation, and they're praying to this crisis to be over soon and for them to return to their daily routines. For some of them, actually, their lives and their cruise ships' employment or work are the same. They're in the same page. I can say with the confidence that the interest for them is to embark immediately. It's huge. Everyone is just waiting for the situation to get better, and they are aware of the risk of possible being infected. We do some survey in the past. Actually, we start in September because was some, let's say, information that the industry will restart actually the operation in end of October or mid of November, and we did the survey. And after that survey, we find out that 90% of existing crew or rehire candidates are ready to start immediately to go on board. For new hires, I can say, or the people that we recruit in the meantime, knowing that the industry will restart soon, actually the situation is even more higher with the strive to go back or to start the career on board the ships, because that's the dream of the people, and they're expecting to have a green light just to let them, guys, prepare your documents and we will send you. It means from the both sides, the returning crew and the new hires, we have a really strong message that they would like to start immediately work on cruise.
Yeah, that's very clear. That's very interesting too. So I would like to go back to you, Carmen, or Carmen Zita. So let's move forward a little bit now and think that when the crew do return en masse to the cruise ships, as we promised in the new year, maybe springtime, when we're going to see another launch of crew going forward, and the great cruise industry restarts, then we expect a certain number of crew potentially to drop out at the last minute. What percentage do you think this will likely be? And it's good for all the cruise lines listening. And how have you prepared to mitigate that potential risk?
Right. We identified a percentage of, let's say, 50% of the crew is expecting to return on board. However, this percentage depends on the new requirements and condition of reemployment. And probably everyone are aware about this. If there will be salary changes or decreasing salaries, if the joining costs will increase or joining processing get more complicated, the percentage may change. But we are optimistic. The crew had no income since March. So we believe that this percentage can be better because the hospitality industry is also affected worldwide. So even if the new conditions on board will be difficult to keep them and to reach them, I'm pretty sure that most of the crew members who has this as a lifestyle and for many years being on board, they will choose to go on board. We don't know how the new generation will react, but we are prepared. That's why we invest a lot in our training. Me and my team, we did a lot of trainings in order to be able to attack the new market, let's say, the new generation that will start. We're hoping that will be the same as we did for 25 years since we do that, in order to make them understand why to choose to work on board cruise ships and why not. We know that this is our business. We love what we do. We know all the advantages for people to go on board. Sinisha was telling later on that, yeah, we cannot sell right now the dream vacation and meanwhile to earn money. But still, I believe that this will be a challenge for and something that we could, let's say, sell to the applicants, saying that no matter what, if you stay home, you don't see nothing. So at least with the cruise ships, you will have that chance, at least with all the restrictions, definitely yes. But it will be an opportunity for them to move a little bit from staying so many months at home and not being able to move and to socialize with other people. So we are prepared no matter what will be. We are loyal for the company for so many years, for the companies, for our partners, and we are looking for challenges. And for sure, we will work together in a partnership like we did before. And you know, everybody can count on us. And I'm sure that all the recruiting agents are eager to restart again the business, because this is what we like to do.
No, that's fascinating. Thank you very much. And I have, you know, leading from what you've just said, Carmen, you know, what interests me is, you know, how will the working proposition for crew members change in a post-COVID-19 world? And Sinisa, that's a question I'd like to pose to you. I'll just repeat that. How will the working proposition for crew members change in a post-COVID-19 world? Time with the crystal ball.
Grant, it is, of course, impossible to have a crystal ball in front of me and answer to that question. However, we are going to face huge changes. Everything would be influenced a lot of what was the I would say the experience of the existing crew members and what they're gonna share in between their colleagues and people who are coming to work in our industry. With all the question marks, unprecedented life on board the ship, life, work, money balance, possibility to see the new places and so on and so on. So we are not going to be able to offer travel and see places, fantastic career opportunities, excellent training and self-development for sure, because if you've been listening to the panelists from the morning, this is a major question mark within the whole industry. Yes. It's not affecting only a cruise industry. This is basically Steve brought it as a major question for basically all the entire travel industry world. I would say the major and the most important thing is that we communicate the new world and new post-pandemic ideas straightforward and directly to the future crew members and existing crew members. I mean, I know that Zoran has used a little bit of samples that he took as a survey. My survey was not that thorough. I took only 100 people that I know very well from before, that I placed on board the ship and so on. So around 25% of them are not returning, or they found themselves in a situation that they're going to look to another point of view. This also going to, I mean, our world going to be influenced by development of other industries that are attracting basically the similar type of professionals and how fast they are going to return to the service. I'm speaking mainly about hotels in Europe and hotels worldwide, but especially hotels in Europe. Because post-pandemic world, like opposite of pandemic, where everybody closed within their own yard and within their own home and so on and so on, should have been open for a transmission of people with ideas, work ethics, work abilities, and so on. However, we cannot, as I said when we've been speaking about it, the one thing that we are not going to be able to convince are this, specific crew members or top crew members that we've been calling them, the flamboyant and unique personality, diverse crew members that are having a huge proficiency, hunger for life, hunger for development. No, I'm pretty sure that we are going to face a challenge with a huge quantity of unskilled workforce facing the less quality of proficiency, because proficiency are going to be very expensive on our market in the future.
Well, I think that's a very sincere answer, and I thank you for that. And I think it really gives us a good perspective. And what I think is important to establish at this juncture for all cruise industry people watching is that the cruise industry has a huge value chain, and every piece of the jigsaw, every cog in the chain is important. And with regards to crew, that starts from the outset with the recruitment agent. So, Zoran, I have a question based on that for you. You know, what proactive role can the recruitment agent play in helping the cruise industry restart? What can you do and your agencies do to help the cruise lines, the cruise industry get back together and start?
Thank you, Grant. This is really a good question, and it's the first time that somebody addressed this question to us, because when we have a discussion with some of our partners, they didn't count of our support, and I believe they will realize that it's very crucial for them to not make mistakes in the way of preparing the crew members to go back. To be honest, we as the recruiting agents or the maining agents, we can prepare the crew members in order to, or let's say for all of them to join industry successfully. We can offer, first of all, the support to the candidates. We can contact with the most, let's say, clinics to do the necessary medical examination and PCRs. And also we can speed up the processes of getting appointment for a visas, because as you know, for some of the countries we still need a visa, to join the ship. And for all of the country in Europe, the crew members should apply for a C1D visa. And when we are talking about the ideas that we can share with the industry, I can say that we can provide the best hotels to accommodate the crew members to do their quarantine, for a 14 or 21 days, which is mandatory right now for many of the companies with the operation that do. And also we can organize charter flights in Europe for the future deployments from countries with the largest number of the crew members, as we bring most of the crew members when was a repatriation time, taking them out of the ships. My personal recommendation to all cruise lines and companies is to use the services provided by the local hiring agents, because no one can know more than us about the local the situation, the local market, and certain countries where they have a crew members. Also, I can say that it's very important for all of us working in this industry to collaborate between us as hiring partners, because we can share the best practice and to give some advices to other colleagues how to solve the challenges, because nowadays we have lockdowns day by day, or we have a lot of unpredictable things that nobody can see from now. But on the daily communication, we can share that experience, and we as hiring partners can be more successful in the way of cooperation with the cruise industry in general.
So that's enlightening, because what we are saying in essence is that we can offer a lot to the cruise lines. There's a great deal of support we can give to the cruise lines. Carmen, do you want to just give us add something to that from your perspective?
Yes, I'm happy that Zoran mentioned this. Actually, I wanted to say that at the beginning, but I was a little bit how can I say, stress at the beginning. Zoran, you're right. We've been contacted by just one of our partner to assist them in order to bring the people from several countries, to Romania by then. And I was surprised that all the others, they didn't even send us a message. And that's very sad for us to think that we actually need to stay close and to work together to bring the people back on board. And we were expecting to get some business, not necessarily to earn money, just to assist, because as you said, we know better the market, we know better all the conditions. And I can tell you that we've been with the taxis, with the buses over how can I say, the border, to bring the people, to try to find the way to bring them legally into the country. And we were very happy to see that, and the crew members appreciated that. And that specific company, I don't want to give a name, but I really want to thank to them for this challenge, because keep us in the business. We believe that we are important for them, and they rely on us. And definitely all the agencies for so many years, because they provided members recruiting for the new hires and also rehires depending on the business. We believe that we are partners, and they should ask us for assistance anytime and send us messages and ask for advices. Because when Grant, you told me what is going to happen when the industry will come back to the business. They will need people. Of course, there are a lot of tools now for recruiting online, but the whole world is confused, and they don't know what conditions are they going to face. And definitely the agencies will be there to continue their business how they did, with loyalty and with a lot of dedication and professionalism. And I'm pretty sure that even Sinisha and Zoran, they did a lot of things to improve their way of thinking and to be adaptable. That's the most important thing. We passed during 25 years so many challenges in this industry, so many challenges. But look at us. We are still here, and I'm happy that we could join, 3 of us. We are one of the oldest agencies in Europe. And thank you, Employment Power and Sinisha, for this opportunity long time ago. And thank you, Zora, for being my partner so many years. And we did great. We did great. And yes, we are here, all of us. And please, all the companies, give us this challenge to assist you and to help you and to work together for bringing good people back to the ship.
And
So
Carmen,
it's a
if you
clear
allow
message.
me to say, also,
Yes.
we are working to protect the interest of the industry here in Europe, to protect, how to say, the deployment of the people to stay or to remain high, because we have a lot of competitors, and our network of hiring agencies is always working to increase the interest of people to join and work for cruise industry without any support from industry, to be honest.
No, this is well understood. So I think it's a very clear message there that recruitment agents are there to support the cruise lines restart, and they're there to be counted on, and you're there to be proactive and agile and to adjust and support locally. Now, the chat room is getting busy. We're getting some messages coming in the chat room. We have one message from Ian Stokes, which I'm going to pose to you, Sinisa. Stella Maris are working to support cruise crews currently moored in the UK. How else are these skeleton crews being supported and cared for? Can you answer that?
Well, I would tell you on one example, and I could say the name of the company. There are no secret. I'm working for Apollo, which is one of the biggest Apollo Group, one of the biggest concessionaires in the world in the cruise industry, and they lay over one of the Marella ships in Zadar, in the port of Zadar in Croatia. That was basically a joint effort of Port of Zadar, community of Zadar, police, border police from Croatia, Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Croatia, port agents, which are Intercruises, and of course Apollo officials and us, I mean me, to be able to maintain that skeleton crew on board the ship. We help in all way of possibilities: transportation, deployment, communication, helping them where to find, what to find, how to find, prices regulatory, low regulatory, and so on and so on. So basically, to maintain a skeleton crew is kind of a harder job than to reinforce opening of the ships and give the crew back, because skeleton crew are going to be really facing all challenges of fatigue, of living and working on board the ship in the very limited condition. I mean, there are many stories that I heard from the crew that are part of a skeleton crew on board different companies that I really do not want to share, because some of them are not serving as the marketing for our cruise partners. Yeah, at the same time, it is very understandable situation what to do. I mean, the easiest way that agent, myself, Mr. Sinisha Golac, could do is to communicate to my crew. I'm just trying to send a general message that yes, it is going to end, it is going to be over, we are going to go back to our regular lives, we are going to restart again. It is going to be again the job where you would be able to achieve the things that you want to achieve. Of course, there are going to be a lot of regulatory issues, and the last thing I want to see is deviation of the MLC standards, as we faced as the agents a huge impact of the not adjusted MLC standards to the agencies, training centers, medical facilities, and so on and so on. And the policy would need to understand that we are in pandemic world, not only a policy, all others that are involved in this business. But to come back to answer directly to that question is, to maintain skeleton crew, you could use our help of any kind. And my telephone, same like Carmen, same like Zoran, is open 24/7. Whatever you need, just ring me, buzz me, and I'm going to ring you back, no problem. If you have no money for the phone bills, I'm going to call back and explain what I could do.
Thank you. And one enlightening thing for me is, I'm working for Inchcape, and we're essentially a port agent. And in our normal work, every year we don't come into much contact with the recruitment agent. But this year, more than ever, on many occasions, we've collaborated closely with the recruitment agent, whether it be on transfers, support for crew, and I felt this was highly beneficial to do that. So I think it's a very good point. So we have just one last question, because alas, we are running out of time and we have just 5 minutes left on the session. So our chat room's going crazy. So I'm just going to ask one more question, which has been posed by Olga. And it was mentioned that one of the main challenges for recruitment companies now is a lack of planning and no possibility to have a clear crew change plan.
6 o'clock.
That's my CEO warning me at 6 o'clock. A crew change plan and rotation schedule. This can be a new normal even after the pandemic. How do you see the crewing companies to face and prepare for this future? And do you think the digitalization of the crew travel process and authorization of employees to book and cancel own flights would be an answer? And Olga goes on to say, would that give companies a greater flexibility to manage crew change without accumulating more travel costs? Just a few minutes, please, Zoran, if you could finish up on that question.
It's very difficult to answer this question right now because we don't know how the things will go in the future. But I believe with better preparation, we can be very successful in any way to prepare the crew members to go back. We are sending the crew right now in the different area, even in the countries where they locked down. And with the Siemens book and the letter of employment, everything is going smoothly. And the companies, the airplane companies, is accepting the PCR test, as one of the important things to allow the crew to moving around. It means all these things goes well. And talking about the previous things that we mentioned just briefly, the interest from the potential crew members is huge. Just to add one more value. I'm seeing the bright future for our industry because they have us from this side supporting them with the numbers of crew members. Briefly, just very short.
And I'm very grateful for you being concise, and you're quite right there. So I just want to close the session by first of all thanking our panelists, our distinguished and highly experienced panelists here for European recruitment. Carmen, thank you so much for giving this the benefit of your experience. I know you're based in Brasov and it was snowing today, so that's nice to know. Sinisa from Zagreb, thank you very much for sharing the wealth of your experience. And Zoran, I know it's raining in Skopje. Thank you there for being very much. I think one message that we can all collectively give to conclude the session is that recruitment agents don't just recruit for cruise ships and put crew on board. they have a much wider role. And in times of adversity, like now, they can play a bigger role, and they can support the cruise line partners and support the ship management companies in the communication and certain arrangements to help the crew. And I think that is very evident. And from my personal experience, I've noticed that is possible. So we can be proactive and we can be agile. And I think that's a great way to finish. So there's me. I bring the end of the session now. As you can see, there was light on my screen when I started, but it's now sunset here in Dubai. In fact, it's dark. It's dropping down to 24 degrees. That's why I've got a jacket on. We put a scarf on if it goes below 20 degrees in Dubai. And that brings us to the end of our recruitment forum. I thank our panelists and all those who have been watching. And I truly hope that you found it insightful. So thank you very much. And that's me signing off. Over to you, Joanna.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.